Hey there, I'm Ken. This is Canadian Retro Things. So, you've got yourself a CoCoSDC. Now, what? Is anybody else feeling deja vu? So you've got your CoCoSDC and you've downloaded that big file of programs from the Color Computer archive that I showed you how to do in the last episode, which will have a link up here or down there, which you can check out. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend it. And you've looked at the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of programs on there and thought to yourself, well, this just isn't enough. Well, you're in luck because over on the World of Dragon archive, Per Surratt, sorry if I'm pronouncing that name wrong, has been converting AGD games over to the Color Computer so you can download those. And to date, when this video is being made, he's done, just let me check here, 297 games. So if you need another 297 games for your CoCoSDC, then hey, let's download that and check them out. So to download these games, you have to go to the World of Dragon archive page, which I will put a link to down in the description. And as you can see, there are all these different packs here, pack 50, 52, 51 of converted AGD games. I hear you asking, what is an AGD game? Well, an AGD game is developed by Arcade Game Designer Program, which is a tool for creating ZX Spectrum and Amstrad CPC 464 games, which means everything that is being converted over here are new games to the Color Computer. They're games that you may have played before, but versions that you won't have played before. So one of the nice things is that if you go into these different packs, it has a number of games in them. And yeah, it has screenshots of all of the games. Now, they are in black and white, but that doesn't detract from how much fun they are to play. However, if you have the Super Sprite FM Plus board, they are also converting over some of the games to work on that in color. So, if you're one of the lucky ones that has one of those boards, you can play some of these games in color. But each individual pack has a few games in it. There's also the release of, about every month, the Big Pack, which currently has 297 games in it, which covers all 52 packs up to this point. So that's the easiest file to download, and you want to download the Coco Big Pack short names, because you need the short names for the CoCoSDC. So click on it, save the file, which I've already done, which is right here. So we'll open that up, and here is all of those games, all 297 of them. And what we need to do is put them over onto our SDC card. And you may recognize this as the one that I made up from the Color Computer archive. So I have made an individual file for all of these games. Now the docs file you want to put by itself, and I'm going to change the name of that to put AGD in front of it. And over here I have made up files for alphabetizing everything because I don't want just one big long list of games. So I just have to click and drag over into each file that I want to put them in by alphabetical order. And I am not going to make you sit and watch me do this entire thing, so I will skip ahead to the end when I'm down at the bottom of the list. And There we go. All of these are now alphabetized for me for easy access. So I don't need that file anymore. Now, as I had showed you here, there is a docs file. And this includes some of the manuals and whatnot. And one of the most important files in here is a keys file. So if the game doesn't tell you which keys it used and you can't figure it out, they're just about all in here. So you can see which keys are used for up, down, left, right, fire, up to 3 fire buttons. Most of the time, Q and A are used for up and down, sometimes A and Z, sometimes some other letters. Anyways, and O and P are usually left and right. It is time to fire up the color computer and check out some of these games. Alright, so here we are in the CoCoSDC Explorer. There is the AGD file. There are all the sub-files that I made. So let's load up a game. So how about the Amethyst Dagger? So here it is loading. Now I did show you how this is all in black and white. Well, this is in RGB. If I change it over to composite, you do get a little bit of, color bleeding in there. So if you want just a little bit of color in your game, you can put it over into composite. And it does take a little bit of time for these to load up. So I will jump ahead to when this is done loading. All right, so here we go. So the Amethyst Dagger, it does tell you which keys you can use: Q, A, O, P, space, and Z. Or I don't know if space is one or not. Anyways, left joystick we will play with here. So here we go. So it's back and forth, up, fire. So you gotta just move your way through stuff here. And then avoid things falling on your head. And here we are back in the menu, and now I will show you actually one of my favorite games that I've discovered on here so far. As soon as I find it, there we go. Now, this does bring up an interesting thing on some of the newer games. When you try to load it, you get a syntax error in line 180. This is just on the loading program. For some reason, that doesn't work. I'll show you the lines around it. So for some reason, it syntax errors on line 180, but if you take line 180 directly out of it, run it again, it loads fine. So not sure what's going on there. All right, so here we go with this game. As you can see, it actually doesn't have joystick support. So S to start, and it's a shooter. All right, and the last game that I am going to show you is one that we talked about on Coco Talk last week, and people were pretty interested in it because it has a whole bunch of music routines and stuff in it. So that is Mire 2. Suffers from the same problem of the line 180. So take that out, run it, Loads up fine. So we will redefine the keys. So that if you can redefine the keys, it's good. Then you don't have to hunt around for what would be the fire key or the pickup key. I think there's a couple on this one. So spacebar to fire and S for inventory. So I'm playing with the keyboard right now. There we go. Now I have a weapon that I can fire at things with. One thing about it, this game is big. You can go... There's a lot of different levels, and so a lot of time and care was put into this one. And that's the little song that it plays you when you die. And the last thing I want to show you on here has to do with the joystick. So if you use the left joystick, and I've discovered this on a few of the games, I'm plugged into the left port, but the joystick does not work. However, the fire button makes me walk. The keys do work, but yeah. Unfortunately, I can only walk in one direction with the joystick, and it's not a problem on all the games, but it is a problem on some of the games. Well, there you go. That is another huge collection of games for your color computer. And the great thing about it is that there are still packages being added to that. So keep an eye on the World of Dragon archive so that you can download the new packages when they come out, add them to your CoCoSDC, try the games out, because there are definitely some games on there that you are going to find that you like. So yeah, I definitely recommend giving it a try. And if you can get your hands on one of those Super Sprite FM boards, there's even more. I mean, it's some of the same games, but in color. So that is really cool too. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little look at the extra games you can put on your CoCoSDC. If you did, you know what you can do with the liking, the subscribing, and or the commenting below, because anything and everything you do is always greatly appreciated, even if it's a thumbs down, because hey, that's interaction and lets me know what you think of my videos. So I guess I have nothing else to say here. So yeah, I'm gonna go play some games. I will see you next time.